or even if you're not prepared? You feel stress in both situations, or only when you're not prepared for the exam?
When I'm not prepared.
When you're not prepared. This is very common, Trapti. If you could just tell them as to examination stress is, I mean, very natural to be there, whether you're prepared or not, but how should they cope with it?
Now, there are two ways of reacting to that situation. One would be that you just get too stressed that, I can't perform like him, I'm not him. The other would be that, okay, even he is as old as I am, even he is studying the same subjects as I do. So, what does he do better that I can do? Plan your day, plan your subjects accordingly, practice harder, try to figure out which hours of the day are better for your concentration, things like that. Try to find out the details and organize yourself accordingly.
Get organized.
So that you give your best. And try to learn from other people. If your parents are expecting, then go and think about it. Can I really score 5% more than what I did last year? If you think you can, then find out a way, plan your day and try to study accordingly that you score better for yourself.
Stress because of external or internal factors, that is one thing. The other related phenomena with stress is the positive stress that generally you term it as eustress. Why is it so important, and would you call it stress, though we are saying that it's positive? Can you explain that?
See, we just heard Shiv Khera, and I think he is a pioneer on positive thinking. So remember that stress is your body's response, and therefore if you respond positively, what is going to happen? For example, you want to be perfect, you want to do very well. Well, this can be eustress for you, it can be positive stress for you, it can make you work harder, make you get up early in the morning when you're normally not an early bird, make you even study very well and do very well in the exams. So even in sports, when we talk about sports, I think even we have some sports.
Yes. Yeah. We have, perhaps you're very glad to have the national athlete in the juniors level. We have with us Manoj here. Manoj, we're so glad that you came here. Now let me ask you, you're pursuing sports and you're doing very well there, but at the same time you understand studies are also important, academics are also important. That means on you there is this dual stress. Performance, you have to perform in sports, that is what you really enjoy and you're passionate about, but studies are also important. How do you deal with it?
Time management, lot of son comes home and will go to the stadium. We have no time to prepare myself studies.
Time management, Dr. Kalyani, and he's got a very typical problem, balancing between studies and his activity.
Time is limited, 24 hours, we cannot make it even 25 hours. So we have to learn this time management. We have to learn how to make optimum use of the time available to us. We may sleep, we may do certain work which is of interest. What you need to do is chalk out a plan, how much time you want to give to your studies. See, when a particular competition is arising or competition is approaching, you can give more time towards the competitions. Right there you cannot study for too long. But once you are having some easy time for yourself, maybe just practicing, you can reduce that practicing time and give more time to academics, especially when you have to attempt the exams. Around the examination times, you can give more time towards the studies. Usually what happens, it's a matter of proportion. 24 hours, how you divide. It all depends on your requirements.
Basically, learners have to get accustomed to organizational skills also, Trapti.
With sports, it's not just time management, it's physical stress also.
Absolutely.
I mean, you might just have 5 hours ahead of you, but you're tired. So instead of stretching yourself and stressing yourself that I have to sit and study right now as soon as I'm back, don't do that. If let's say sleeping for a while or having a light snack or watching TV can relax you physically, you will be more equipped to study maybe 1 hour later or 2 hours later. In that sense, your efficiency, if you're more organized and if you are more aware of yourself, prioritize, organize, I think you will have better results for yourself.
Right. So what really stresses you, and what are your problems, barriers, obstacles?
I'm a small height boy. Then when anybody told me you cannot do this work because you are not sufficient for this work.
What was the work?
To do the goal on the volleyball.
Okay. So that causes stress to you because you have developed a kind of complex that people tell you that you're not too tall to, but you like the game?
Yes, ma'am.
It's not basically about him scoring a goal, but about his
his height.
complex of, being not having that height. Dr. Sood.
What I can suggest to you is see the positives in the first place. I mean, if you can be good at a thing even without having that height, for example, for volleyball, suppose you can jump very well. Well, you will compensate for the height. For example, you can see so many sports people, for example, Sachin Tendulkar does not have a very big height, but he is such an excellent sports person. So if you believe in yourself and can actually just practice, I'm sure you can do well. So you can prove it to them. Number two, don't feel that height is something negative. It is something which is God-given, and so accept it there, but keep on seeing your strengths. Concentrate on how many strengths you are. You are such a wonderful person, you are good in studies, you're good at work, you're good in so many other things.
Basically, his strength areas. He might be very good in something else. So what if he's not really tall enough to be a great volleyball player? But then he must have other aids and qualities also. The other girl talked about a problem, family issues and family pressures, which is so, it is there and we all accept it. As parents also, I'm sure we have accepted it. And as learners also, it's there with everybody. Maybe intensity may vary. Who has to learn first here? Parents, or how do they cope up with that?
There's a life skill called empathy. Empathy is putting yourself in the other person's shoes. So there are two things here. You can put yourself in your parents' shoes and just see what must they be feeling for you. One day you will be a parent. Would you not like your child to be the best?
That is just one side of a coin.
Yes.
But Dr. Tehliani, for them, it's like double-edged sword. They have to empathize with the parents, but at the same time, parents also have to understand. For a learner, his parent has to understand.
Yes, definitely. See, it's again the parental pressures, I should say. And the best way is to reason out. Reason out, give two solid reasons, and on the other hand, if parents give you certain reasons why they want you to perform or why they want you to do a particular task, you should accept that also. If you're not in a position to accept, then how can you expect that they will accept your viewpoint?
My heart to a certain extent now goes for learners, because they are being asked to empathize, they are being asked to accept the stress levels and also at the same time accept others' expectations from them. There is so much that they have to accept. So how do they cope?
As far as stress arising out of interpersonal relationships is concerned, I think it is very important to develop effective communication skills. It really helps a lot if your parents are